Well, morning YouTube. It's July 8th, I think, and this is episode 17. So, while I've been away, not that I went anywhere, I just haven't been on YouTube, we ran into a little dilemma with the tractor. And I don't know if you guys remember, towards the end of the last video, we got it running. It ran pretty good, and then all of a sudden, 10 minutes into running it, we had an exhaust hiss. And I went through the timing again. I adjusted the valves. I double-checked the spark plug wires. Not that that should really have much to do with it unless it's firing on the wrong cylinder, which it wasn't. I retightened the manifold. I double-checked the torque on the head studs. I still couldn't figure it out. So what I figured was it had probably either a valve that was hanging up or one of the valve seats that they put in at the machine shop had dropped out. So I pulled the valve cover, and sure enough, the number 4 exhaust valve was hung up about a 1/4 inch from bottomed out or seated. And that is about the same thickness as a valve seat. They're about a 1/4 inch or so thick. And I don't have a scope to look inside the cylinder. I tried shining a flashlight in, but I couldn't see. And well, the only way I could figure it out was to pull the head. So that's what I did. I pulled the head off, and sure enough, the valve seat was hanging on the valve like it was a ring loose on a finger, So I had to bring the head back to the machine shop, and that was first thing Monday morning, or Tuesday morning, excuse me. And they did the honorable thing. They fixed it. Actually, while I waited, they fixed it and pressure tested it, and reground the new seat and valve and made sure they were right, and hopefully it works. And I had mentioned that I wanted to be reimbursed for the new head gasket set of seals that I have to get. Gaskets. And he said that shouldn't be a problem. So I sent them the email with the invoice for the head gasket set that I ordered, and he's supposed to be issuing me a check for that balance. Other than that, right now we are going back over to put the head back on and get everything back together to hopefully do it for the last time. So this time I'm going to run straight water in it at first, and then the machine shop owner rather, gave me you'll have to bear with me here, gave me a bottle of some stop leak that he wants me to run in it. It's a ceramic motor seal. Whoa, I better tilt the camera down. But it's a ceramic motor seal that's made by Regis Royal Cut Products. I think. Regis Royal something products. Royal Cut. I can't really tell. But this is the stuff right here. I think it's reading on the camera backwards, but maybe not. Basically, you run it with straight water for an hour, get it up to operating temp, and then you drain it. And I believe it's supposed to coat the castings on the inside of the coolant passages and help prevent any leaks. But basically the seat that dropped out around it was, he had done some crack repair on it, and he believes that obviously when the head got warmed up, the crack had expanded just a little bit, which was enough to drop that seat out. But he said the new seat that he put in should be good to go. They installed a 1.875 outside diameter seat on the first go around. This one is a 1.884 outside diameter. So we'll see what happens. But other than that, I haven't really done much. It's just kind of been sitting. I do have the loader frame tube in my car, so if you hear any road noise, it's because my trunk's open. This is the one that I had to straighten out. My buddy Nick took care of that at his shop with a forklift and a press. So that's all done, and once the tractor's running, we'll be ready to throw the loader on and see if the cylinders work or leak or what have you. So I'll keep driving, and we'll continue this when we get back to the tractor. I hope the weather holds out. They're saying it's a possibility it might rain, so keep your fingers crossed. All right, we'll talk to you. Well, as you can see, we've got the tractor back together here, and I've got water in it with that ceramic seal stop leak. So I don't know, we'll see how this goes. While I was putting the rockers back on, the rocker arms, I snapped one of the bolts. It must have been ready to go because I didn't apply more than 20 pounds of pressure, I don't think, because that's what I had my torque wrench set at, and the bolt snapped. And I believe they're 5/16 bolts, 5/16 coarse thread, so they should be able to withstand 20 foot-pounds. But luckily it broke off inside the bracket for the rocker arm assembly, so I was able to pull the rocker arms off and just grab it with the vice grips and turn it out and put a new bolt in. So I've got the gas on. I still don't have the charging system hooked up. I'm going to put a 12 volt regulator on the generator so that I can utilize the generator to put out. Most 6 volt generators they're actually a kind of a dumb electronic. They'll charge whatever the regulator will allow them to charge for the most part. So, and I'm not running, you know, like on old cars, if you're running a stereo and all kinds of lights and electronics, then you'll have to upgrade the fields in the generator and stuff like that. I did a little research online, but for this, we're just operating the starter, and occasionally we'll put lights on. But from what I've read, just putting a 12 volt voltage regulator on that will be just fine. So that'll charge up my 12 volt battery that I have, and I'll make it negative ground as well. So I'll polarize it for negative ground. Won't have any issues, hopefully. And hopefully the generator works, but we'll find out when we get that wired up. But I'm going to set the phone down here, and we'll give it a first start attempt to see what happens. I know that's not the best view, but I'm having issues with my GoPro lately. I tried replacing the battery, and that didn't work. It still won't hold a charge for some reason, so I'm going to do some research online. So right now, I'm just using my phone. Bear with me. me like it runs perfect. We'll get it warmed up here, and we'll see where we can go from here. But it runs like clockwork. Fired up right away. That's awesome. Hopefully I can get the loader put on today if everything goes right here. Stay tuned. Well, this is fourth gear at just above idle. Seems to be running real good. Can't complain at all. I think my oil pressure gauge is a little faulty. I noticed when I was putting everything back together that the connection on the back that runs into the back of the gauge is, well, it wobbles. So I don't think it's showing the correct oil pressure. But it does spike. Anything above about where it's at now. So as far as throttle. I also noticed that I must have cracked the water temperature gauge when I was putting everything back together. I must have hit it with a ratchet or something while putting things together. So that's a downer, but I'll just have to replace those gauges and go from there. But I'll crack the throttle here so you guys can kind of see what we got for. Seems to be real good. Transmission's not making much noise. It's just that typical growl or whine. I'll idle it down all the way here to a crawl. You guys can see just how good it runs at an idle here. I might as well get a little mud on the tires just for fun. It's probably been a number of years since it's had mud on the tires. So let's go ahead and put it in fifth gear here. Put new brake bands in this thing though. I can tell that they're very worn. Well guys, Sorry I didn't get more video, but it started raining, so I had to get stuff put away, and all I really did was get the loader brackets put on, or the down tubes put on, and I was going to put the loader cylinders on to test them to see if they leak, but I went to the local fleet farm and I needed some quick couplers. They didn't have the ones I needed, so I'm going to have to pick some of those up. But anyways, at least the tractor runs good, and yeah, we're pretty much gonna be done for now. You know, if the tractor runs good, I'm not gonna paint it right now because it's just gonna sit outside and whatnot until we move into a different house with a pole barn and I can keep it inside, and then I'll talk about painting it and that. So, but the transmission sounds good aside from the worn out brakes, but that's not a huge deal. I can get some new brake bands and replace those fairly easily. Probably make another video on that. But yeah, it's just a matter of getting that loader on there now. So hopefully the cylinders don't leak, but I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of faith in them. They've been sitting for quite a while, I think. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But anyhow, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and you're as excited as I am that we got it going finally. And hopefully the machine shop repairs hold up, and we don't have any more issues with the head or the valve seats, and we just can run it, you know. So yeah, it's a good day. Everything went smoothly. So stay tuned, keep watching. As always, thank you guys for watching my videos. It's hard to believe that, you know, people watch a lot of the things I do, especially since I drag them out for, you know, half an hour to an hour. But you guys stick with it and maybe skip around some parts, and that's fine. You know, watch what you need to watch or watch what you want to watch. That's the beauty of it. But anyhow, I'm rambling on. You guys take care, and yeah, take it easy.